Hey, good afternoon. It's Wednesday. It's time for another episode of Come On Ref. Don't adjust your monitor or your phone. You might be thinking this is a throwback edition of Come On Ref. I've got my man Jackson with me today, man. Jackson, what's going on?
Man, it's weird. It's like it's Come On Ref, but it has a Generation Flex feel because it's you and I. But remembering that it's Come On Ref, it's nostalgic. Because I remember how we used to do this, and I was pretty intense on that squad last year. Yeah. I feel like I left my mark. I don't know if anybody cares now, but I am happy with what I gave and left behind with Come On Ref. So it's cool to be back. I feel like I'm a little more sharper now, a little more relaxed. I got a laptop, not on my phone.
There you go.
So, yeah, upgrades are great. It's good to be back. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. It's good to have you, man. And listen, I've had a lot of people tell me, a lot of my friends and family, like, hey, man, show's not really the same without Jackson on there. You know what I mean? Like, still like the show.
Right.
They watch me because it's me or whatever. But, yeah, I think they appreciated that dynamic too, man. I think I've had a lot of people tell me that.
I didn't want to say that. I didn't want to be the guy to say that for myself. But ultimately, the teammates I had at the time, we had good chemistry because usually we weren't really agreeing. We usually weren't on the same page. I gave them a nickname, the Stat-tagonist. It became a whole concept thing. We still got to get them on our show.
Yeah, we do.
Because even though there was a lot of disagreeing and not seeing eye to eye going on, it was making for incredible content and incredible energy and dynamics.
Yeah.
So while people are saying, oh, it's not the same without Jackson, I think what they're really saying is when you take one cog out, it changes everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's not the same without me, but it wouldn't have been the same if you took out one of the Stat-tagonists or two of them and left me, or you know what I mean? Take you out. So I appreciate the accolades, but I know we had a great solar system. We all had a role to play, and we were good at it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, everybody came to the show prepared. I mean, it was unbelievable. You know what I mean? Sometimes, there was I would just ask you guys questions and let you go. Like, I didn't even really have to talk for most shows. And that was kind of nice, to be honest with you.
Well, we weren't acting. It was all organic.
Yep.
It was truthful. It was like when I would be mad at them and cut them off and say something, it's because I was legit mad and legit didn't agree and legit wanted them to know I didn't agree.
Right.
In a respectful manner.
Right.
But at the same time, it's entertaining because I would just flip out. I'd cut you off and let you have it. And they didn't even like that sometimes. But the viewer was like, whoa, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Right.
So it was a learning experience. But at the same time, I think we had a special team. Yeah. You're never going to get me, you, and the Stat-tagonist and Natalie. Like, we had the perfect. I'm not trying to trash the other classes. I'm not trying to trash other Come On Ref eras.
Not at all.
Our era was special. We definitely were a special era. I can say that. I was happy to be a part of that era.
It was. If you look back through the viewership, sometimes I watch back some of those live streams or whatever, and we had like 70, 80, almost 100 comments in some of those episodes, man.
Hey, man,
those were the most fun ones. When you got to like interact with people and answer some questions in the chat, that was a lot of fun, man. That was a lot of fun.
What really helped us was we were all different. We had different backgrounds. We're from different generations, and we had different cultures. So when we would talk things like Colorado Buffaloes, they didn't even want to discuss it. Yeah. And I'm showing how this is super important. Right. And when you got a guy that doesn't want to discuss it versus a guy that finds it super important, you're going to have an amazing conversation. And that's what we were able to do. We were able to capture amazing conversations because we were all culturally different.
It was polarizing at times, man. It was very polarizing.
Yeah.
Which I think
and what's crazy is people don't even know how putting the show together would be as intense as the show.
Oh yeah.
There were times Ryan would have to step in, like, okay, guys, we're classmates,
Right.
It wasn't a game.
People were that passionate about talking about their thing on the show, and that's a good thing. That's Listen, I don't want a bunch of people to go, hey, man, whatever you want to talk about is fine, whatever. I don't want that. Like, I want I want you to advocate for your thing. I want you to fight for your thing. Like, fight for your topic, fight for your team, fight for your right to party, whatever. I don't care. Do what you got to do, man. Just, you know what I mean? Like, speak up and say something like that.
I mean, you're right, because I learned that having different people with different culture and background that don't agree, that makes for great content.
It does.
The thing about Generation Flex that's interesting is you and I, we agree, but we're culturally different background. So why we agree makes it interesting, because you got this black kid and this white dude from like Midwest, middle Ohio, and I'm like from urban Ohio.
Yeah.
And when we agree on things, the way we got to how we feel was totally different.
Yeah.
How I discovered Chuck D was totally different than how you discovered Chuck D. So when we talk Chuck D, it's an amazing conversation. We're not from the same place.
You feel like you get a well-rounded view of it. Yeah, yeah.
That's what made the Statagonists work. Like, they were they were totally different. So when we did agree, it was real. And when we didn't agree, it was very real.
Not to flame any of the Statagonists while they're not here to defend themselves, but do you think they know who Chuck D is?
Seeing that we thought one guy didn't like music for months, you know what? They may be aware of the name and that this guy exists, but if you ask them to name an album or a song or a lyric to save their life, call the coroner, bro.
Yeah, I think maybe I bet Flavor Flav would be a little more on their radar.
I was just about to say, they're probably going to know Flavor Flav, not even from music, just from VH1.
No, because he went mainstream. Yeah. And I think Chuck D tried to do anything he could to avoid going mainstream. I mean, honestly, I don't think that's what Chuck D wanted for Public Enemy.
But the cool thing is, dudes like you and I can introduce Chuck D in a non-corny fashion to the younger people to make them be like, "Oh, this dude's interesting. Let me go check him out."
Right. Well, listen,
we're not in
it at all. If you have any kind of barometer, I mean, when you're listening to music and you you want to talk about what's real or what's whatever. I think if you have any kind of barometer for that, if you listen to Public Enemy for more than an hour or two, I mean, I think you know what Chuck D was talking about was very real. I mean, I think it came from a place of realism for him. It wasn't an act. He wasn't in the studio. Can we make Drake he wasn't in the studio draking it up, right? Like, he wasn't acting. Like, that was Chuck D, right? Anyway, I to say this. Listen, welcome to Come On Ref. Long intro today, but we had a lot to talk about, man. We appreciate you spending your day with us. Listen, on today's show, we're probably not even going to talk about Chuck D. Unfortunately, I just want to talk about Public Enemy now. I don't want to go through some albums, but we should probably talk about the fact that the Cavs finally have a head coach. And I want to talk to you. If you can stick around a little bit later, Jackson, I know you have some things to do today, and you might have to get out of here a little bit early, and that's fine. But I want to talk about the AFC North a little bit, just specifically your favorite team, the Browns. I know that what's that banner in the back? Oh, ignore that banner in the back.
Although that's my Browns championship banner behind me.
There you go. There you go. Listen, somebody's got to take a step back in the division, right? Somebody has to. I think it could very well be the Browns. We'll get to that. First, I just want to go through some headlines. The biggest headline from a couple of nights ago. I actually watched Game 7, man. And the Oilers came up just short of making history, but despite that, Connor McDavid still named the MVP, wins the Conor Smythe Trophy. Sixth player all time, by the way. I was surprised to hear that there were 5 before him that were named the MVP despite their team losing the Stanley Cup Finals, which just proves the adage that we've said before. I mean, hockey is just like no other sport. It's really cool, man. I'm really starting to get into it. I've watched a little bit. I've watched a little bit of the Oilers playoff run because of you. And I'm starting to just get into watching hockey on TV more, man. But I know you have thoughts on this, so I'm just going to let you go, man, because I know you probably have something to say here.
Well, first of all, hats off to Florida. Let's just get that out the way. Florida, congratulations. I watched you guys dish out a lot of pain, a lot of hell. I watched you guys receive a lot of pain, a lot of hell. I watched you guys go up 3-0 in the finals and then end up in a Game 7 at home, and you took care of business. And in the NHL, me and Chad were talking. The coolest thing about the Stanley Cup Finals is even if your team makes it and didn't win it, you can't be mad at referees. You can't be mad at the way they called the games. You can't be mad at fan bases. You can't be mad at anything. Excuse me. You can't be mad at these things because you get a totally legit playoff. Florida definitively won the cup. And my team is the Oilers. So for us to go from 2-9 and 2-2, and end up in a game 7 of the Stanley Cup of a series we were down 3-0. Nobody since 1945 has even turned a 3-0 into a 3-3. And you end up in that situation. You can't ask for more. Like I was telling Chad the other night, my team was gassed. The star player was on his knees in the middle of the rink with like 90 seconds left. And I couldn't even be mad at him because he played like the entire period. Most of the starters played the entire period. And you can't ask for any more. Yeah, if Leon Draisaitl didn't disappear in this series, we probably would have got a ring. But you can't blame it on one guy. Hockey, if your team lost, they lost. In 7 games, Florida proved they were the worthy team. Yeah. But just overall, this was the best season in a long time. I think this was the season, kind of like how Caitlin Clark and Rachel Reese and Cardoso, how they kind of brought the WNBA like as a unit. This group of girls made the WNBA what they're becoming. This is now the beginning of the WNBA. They've been around for 20 years, but now is the coming out party. So I feel like with the NHL, this particular playoff run, for whatever reason, the vibe changed. A lot of people on my friends list and timeline were checking in. They were pulling for the Oilers. People they didn't even talk hockey all year. But in the Stanley Cup final, this particular series grabbed a lot of people. And I always front on Florida hockey. I don't really respect or appreciate hockey dominance in Florida. But I will say this.
It was weird.
Because it was a team like Florida, that helps the common man.
Yeah. Because
the common man doesn't really know the NHL that well. Well, Florida's fairly new. Not just to success, but they're new to the league. So when you have a new team that's kind of fairly new, and they end up in a game 7 with a team like Edmonton that has 5 titles already. They have Gretzky. They have the history. They got the banners, the fan base. We're hungry. Canada hasn't won it. Now you're creating must-see TV. Connor McDavid is going to be a legend. I feel so bad he couldn't get that cup this week because I showed you the list of duos, the best duos. Yeah. And I realized, darn it, if they got the cup, Draisaitl and McDavid would be right somewhere in this list eventually because all they got to do is win it again. And now you're solidified. Gretzky and Messier, bro, Gordie Howe and Lindsay back in the 50s. Like, hockey is so different. There's no friends, man. Yep. People don't make super teams in hockey. You don't seek out your boy from Finland and your homie from Sweden and all pull up in the Rangers. No. You end up beating your boys, during the playoffs.
Yeah.
Fighting. McDavid and oh my God, I'm having a mental slip. Tkachuk. Yeah. McDavid and Tkachuk have known each other. They've known each other since they were 8 years old. They've been playing hockey with each other.
I saw the picture of them on the bus together. Yeah.
Bro, they were fighting each other in the Stanley Cup series. And I don't mean like real, but like at the net, a lot of this, a lot of that, a lot of,
But one thing you notice, I think we've talked about it before in hockey, that stuff gets left on the ice. You don't have a whole lot of it doesn't spill out into social media. It doesn't do that.
Well, what it comes down to is this. You and we're friends. I might be an Oiler. You end up for the Calgary Flames. If things go a certain way, a certain night, you and I could end up fighting each other. Really going at it.
Yeah.
And then we're talking trash in the penalty box through the glass.
Right.
But you know what's crazy? After the game, we might go have a beer.
Yeah.
Just because I've known you since we were 10.
Right.
And this is what we do for a living. It's like we're professional hockey players. It's like this is what's expected. We're gladiators.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's a respect thing. Those dudes don't like each other, but they respect each other because they're all savage.
Yep.
You can't be soft. You can't be scared. None of that can exist.
Maybe that's the reason. Maybe that's the actual reason. And listen, I'm glad you brought a couple of things up. One, the WNBA, because we're going to get to that in a second. And two, the fact that no one's really taking it personally, right? I think we need to realize as fans, and some of us I think already realize it because some of us have played sports. Athletes are a different person between the lines. Okay, they may be like cuddly soft in the press conferences and make you laugh and say funny things, but listen, if you truly want to watch your team win, you have to be able to accept that those guys and girls, they're different people between the lines, right? When the lights go on and they're out there on the field, on the court, whatever it is, on the ice, whatever, they're different people. I mean, and they are. Like, you have to be a savage to a certain point. You have to kind of, it's almost like an animal instinct, right? Like, you want to win, don't you? I mean, that's the most primal thing. You want to beat your opponent, right?
But the cool thing is a lot of humanity, a lot of human comes out in these guys.
Yep.
Because the emotional aspect, the traveling, think about it. You're flying 2,500 miles back and forth. When you land, you only get X amount of hours of time to get your head together, go out there, 3 hours of banging, get back on the plane, fly another 2,500 miles to a totally different place. Think about it. Florida ain't Edmonton. Edmonton ain't Florida.
Nope.
You're going to two different planets every other day, thousands of miles apart. So mentally, it's a challenge.
Yeah.
Physically, fatigue. Man, when the puck drops in Game 7 at the beginning, those guys are exhausted.
Yep.
All those dudes played Game 7 exhausted. You know why? For the past 2
minutes
months.
of hockey ahead of them, man. Yeah, yep.
They've been going hard for the past 2 months.
Yep.
20 games and 40 nights.
Yep.
Come on, man. So that's why I'm giving it to Florida. Because unlike Boston Celtics, nobody's really respecting. They're calling Tatum a cornball because he robbed everybody's celebrations for his. And then
that was
it's
weird.
Like he hijacked. That was very weird.
He must have lost a bet or something, man. Something happened.
He must have practiced. He must have practiced and wrote it down. Do not forget, remake the Kobe. Don't forget to be KG. Don't forget to be Kanye.
It's then we'd be talking about practice, and that'd be another thing he stole from somebody. So
but my point was Boston, even though they've won 18 now, the care factor wasn't there.
Yeah.
Maybe if you live in New England, it's there. But even when Dallas had that blowout victory to prevent the sweep, nobody felt like we felt when Edmonton won 8-1.
Yeah.
When Edmonton won 8-1, I was telling you, oh, now the series starts. Right. And it did. When Dallas won by 30, I just felt like, oh, great, we get one more day of basketball.
There's another travel day.
That's what I feel like. Boston's going to end this when it goes back. And they did. And what was the score? They won the title by like 50 points. Yeah. Something crazy.
Yeah, it wasn't close. Yeah.
So my point is the NHL, just in a box, sitting next to the NBA, they literally ran right up to the NHL, took up all of it. They went right up to Game 7 of the Stanley Cup. Every minute possible to be played was played. Yeah. NBA, they kind of fell a couple days short. But we were talking on Come On Ref last year at the start of the season because we were laughing about the NBA play-in tournament, not the play-in, the in-season tournament.
Yeah.
And we were saying why does the NBA not matter until the playoffs? How come when Edmonton lost the very next day, everybody was screaming, can't wait till October?
Right.
The regular season matters in hockey. We sucked up most of the year.
Yeah. And I remember on this show, by the way, on Come On Ref, hey, listen, they'll be fine. There's plenty of hockey left. They got Edmonton got off to a terrible start, man. Terrible start.
I said that before we got Knobloch. I didn't even know a coach change was coming. But they brought in the coach that had been coaching McDavid in Toronto when he was 15.
Yeah.
And Knobloch's from Edmonton. He went to school there. And, I mean, he's an Edmonton guy. So it worked. He got to coach McDavid twice in his life, as a kid and as an adult. So, hey, man, like I was telling you, Edmonton will be back. Right. It's hard to run it back. I'm not saying we'll be in the finals again. I'm saying we'll be a top 4 seed, 1 through 4.
There's a foreseeable path where it could happen. Yeah, yeah.
We'll make a deep run. All you got to do is get hot just at the right time and meet the right teams at the right time.
Right.
But I want people to give hockey a chance, man. Just like the NBA, the WNBA. I need hockey to be given a fair shake because the officiating was brilliant. Yeah. A lot of people were crying, but at that a lot of people said, how come in Game 7 they didn't officiate it the way they did the rest of the series? And I told people, because in hockey, the referees know. Let them decide. Exactly. We're going to open things up in Game 7. We're not going to call everything. If it's
funny because watching hockey did the same thing that watching the Olympics does to me, where like I don't really know about the sport that I'm watching, right? So I'm like, hey, that's not a high stick. Like, come on, that dude's offside. Come on, he's offside. You know, I'm crying about like calls that I don't even really understand, which is funny to me. I do that when I watch the Olympics.
Referees know. Referees know in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals, it's a respect thing.
Yeah.
We're not going to win this cup for anybody. We're going to let them win the cup.
I couldn't name one hockey official. Can you name one hockey official?
Kerry Fraser. He's a legend. But that's like, he's a legend.
But how many baseball umpires do we know for the wrong reason? I mean, how many guys?
I was going to say that. Right. In baseball, you know guys for the wrong reasons. And in basketball, too.
Hernandez, Cowboy Joe West. Like, there's certain guys that you can say their names, and it's like, ugh. You know?
There's a couple NFL officiating crews that are horrible.
Oh, yeah.
As a crew, they're horrible.
Oh, yeah.
They come together, and they're horrible.
Well, if you ask anyone around here, it's anybody who does the Browns games on any given Sunday. They're the worst officiating crew in the league. Doesn't matter who's it considered. It could be Ed Hockley and the all-star crew, and it wouldn't matter. Browns fans would be like, these guys are terrible. Listen, the cool thing about hockey, Jackson, is the season starts in what, like 15 minutes, I think, doesn't it? Like, isn't it opening day like right now, pretty much?
October 4th, I think.
Yeah. So not a whole lot of downtime, which is kind of good if you're a hockey fan, man. You don't want to, you know, sometimes it feels like you go months without baseball or months without football, but hey, you know, hockey is right around the corner.
The coolest thing is the season ended the way it should. Teams dead on the ice, giving their all.
Yeah.
They said it was the longest handshake line ever for a Stanley Cup Finals, and that says something. Both of those teams respected each other way more so than the fans did.
Man,
I don't think Florida people really know how to be hockey fans. That's just my personal opinion. But
maybe not.
On the ice, Florida and Edmonton truly had a moment together before the cup presentation. And I thought that was cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of that in hockey. And a lot of respect. You and I have talked about it before. I mean, it's probably one of the most buttoned up of all the main professional sports, right? Like, it just feels like hockey is the least impediment. Like, no one questions the Stanley Cup winner. No one questions the officiating. Mm-hmm. It's just like it's just buttoned up.
The thing is,
really well done.
The main thing to remember, the rules have been the same the whole time.
Yes.
So the referees that are older, it's like they could ref it in their sleep because there's nothing new or different to have to look for.
Yeah.
So when you know the rule book like the back of your hand, you might have a missed call because it's a very fast, violent sport, but you won't have a bad call. There's a difference.
So give NFL people that at least. The rules change every 5 weeks in the NFL. We're always having some kind of a meeting about the rules.
Baseball, same deal. You don't know. Every sport.
Basketball.
In the NFL, you don't even know.
There's zones. There's no zone.
Does the NFL know what a catch is yet? No. They're still trying to define a catch.
No. And it's different between college and the NFL. That's wild to me. Somehow, Jackson, catching a football isn't the same in college as it is in the NFL.
And it's something we've been doing since 7 years old. Amazing.
Wow. It's wild.
We never had these problems as kids. As kids, we knew if it was a catch or not, right?
That's it. Control the ball 2 feet down.
Man, I was like 40 years old before I found out, hey, that may not be a catch. And like, what?
Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it wasn't. Hey, listen, I want to move on real quick, though. I do want to talk about something. Listen, last Sunday night, something happened in the WNBA that a lot of people saw. Sometimes you can make the joke, oh, nobody saw it. Listen, let me just say this. The Chicago Sky, right, led by Angel Reese, beat the Indiana Fever, led by Caitlin Clark, 88-87. It was the most watched WNBA game in 23 years, okay?
Right.
And it's the 4th time this season that a game has met that mark. It's been the most watched in 23 years. 2.3 million viewers, on TV. Sold out arena, right? Nancy Armour from USA Today, I don't know if you saw this quote. She said that the atmosphere around the game, she described it as, quote, electric. I'm going to read this to you. The kind of energy this city hasn't seen for a professional basketball game since the Jordan years, end quote. That's big. So let me just ask you this. I'm just going to ask you just flat out, right? Is the Angel Reese Caitlin Clark rivalry one of the best things that we have going in sports right now?
Absolutely, and it's good because it's bringing a lot of attention to the sport as a whole. B, it's creating that fan tension, kind of like Bird and Magic had.
Yeah.
And C, this being America and us being adults and us knowing how things go, the fact that Angel's black and Caitlin's white, I mean, we all can see and we all know that. And it goes a little deeper than just being black and white. Like Angel is not just black. She's like kind of hood for layman terms. I'm not disrespecting her. Oh. She's a very awesome athlete. And she's a very respectful young lady, the way she carries herself. Yep. She doesn't say ignorant stuff. She just kind of carries herself like the Joker, thug life.
She's very confident, man. And people freak out. People get scared by confidence for some reason.
Well, sometimes when that confidence is attached to a darker complexion, it's kind of like Ice Cube back when he had the Jerry curl and he was with NWA. Ice Cube was very scary, but over 30 years now, he's, honey, are we there yet? It's like they've rebranded Ice Cube. Well, Angel Reese is the new Ice Cube. She's America's Most Wanted. She's the Joker. And this couldn't happen to a better person because she's able to carry that.
Yep.
Not only is she carrying the weight of being hated like LeBron, but she's carrying the weight of making this league something special and important.
Yeah.
All she's doing is making it better for future WNBA girls.
Yes.
But the whole black-white thing, I love it. I love it because it's so American. It's who we are. Yep. It brings everybody together. All the races man, have you been in the comment section? Oh. The black races, the white races, the mixed races. Man. They all have commentary for these young ladies.
Yeah.
What does that do? That generates numbers. It generates merchandise. It generates tickets. It generates concession stands, parking lot. I mean, I'm happy this is happening.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be like the guy that stirs the S. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be a troublemaker. But
it's good. It's great for sports. Yeah.
I was going to say, if we're going to have racial issues in America, I'd rather it be between these young ladies as opposed to the police in some community.
Sure.
I'd rather it be this than me and my white neighbor, you know. Yeah. I'd rather it be sports all the time, every time when it comes to race. Because there's a lot of people that feel like for the longest, black people weren't even worthy to play professional sports with white people.
Right.
So to see, I gotta give Caitlin this. What Caitlin is experiencing is totally normal and it's okay. It's called the Eminem effect. Yeah. When you come into something that a lot of black people have done and been awesome at, and I'm not even saying you're the best. I'm saying you're coming into an arena that everybody looks different than you, and they've already been proven to be super dope. And then you come along and you're being heralded as this is what it really supposed to sound like.
Yeah.
Caitlin, it's okay. Eminem went to the same thing. White people tried to play him like a wigger at times. Black people tried to act like, oh, he's white. There's no way he's this. Well, let me tell you about music. You can't put it in a racial box. No. Music is vibrational. Music is for all races, dummy. Sports. You can't put it in a box. Anybody that has arms and legs can be athletic.
Right.
You may suck at athletics. You may be great at athletics. But the point is, sports is not race based. There's nothing written that says, oh, only black women can be the best basketball players ever. So I'm not here to say who's the best and who's not. What I'm here to say is Caitlin Clark is official. Angel Reese is official.
Yep.
It's okay to like both of them. Yeah. It's okay to dislike both of them.
Yeah.
What we're not going to do is disrespect the fact that they're grown women being professional athletes and they're not getting in trouble. They're not getting arrested. They're not getting pulled over drunk.
Yep.
They're not making a bunch of babies and just being with random dudes. They're not carrying themselves like the general public.
Right.
So I love this. I love it's them. I know what the media says. I know what people are saying, but I even crack on how Caitlin looks. But I'm going to grow up today. Caitlin ain't ugly. She got that, you know, she ain't ugly though. She just don't have the femininity a lot of women have and a lot of men like.
Yeah, whatever.
But she ain't here to be a model, is my point.
Right.
She didn't sign up and say, hey guys, do I look good today? Is my hair okay? Is my makeup? She ain't here for that.
Yeah, so, and if you've been watching Come On Ref long enough, you'll notice that I got a new camera, and now you'll probably see I too am not here to be a model. So I can feel that, man. But listen, the thing I like about this is listen, a lot of people say, well, the WNBA wouldn't be what it was, what it is now without Caitlin Clark. Maybe.
No,
Caitlin Clark is without Angel Reese. So
bro, it's like what I was saying in the intro about when somebody said the show is different without Jackson.
Yeah.
No, it's everybody is there. It's like if you take Caitlin Clark out, it's different. If you take Angel out, it's Caitlin and Angel is the Batman and Robin of the situation.
Yeah. They
go together. It's a package deal. When you buy one of their jerseys, you should be allowed to get the other one for 50% off. It's like, and you know what's so cool? I just made the statement how Caitlin, she's not ugly. Angel looks like she could be a darn model. Angel is beautiful. So you have all these contrasting, polarizing white men. Oh, look at Angel's, her eye. Look at her eyes. I can't stand her eyelashes. And you got the black men. Oh, look, it's Danny Glover and Mel Gibson.
Right.
ABB Adder, man. So all this, it's childish, it's immature, but guess what? Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
It's got eyes on the sport. Yeah. I mean,
we're looking at it.
Eyes on the sport.
Hey, bro, what are we doing right now? We've devoted what? I've given more minutes to WNBA in this little segment than I probably did 5 years ago the whole year.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love it, man. I'm catching myself trying to tune into some of these games, man. And by the way, I mean, they're not – Angel Reese scored 25 points and pulled down 16 rebounds in the game. Caitlin Clark led the Fever with 13 assists. She scored 17 points and had 6 boards. Like, by the way, they're also leading their teams as well. Like,
Angel has the most double-doubles for a rookie already.
Yep.
Caitlin has been doing some – that's another thing. Not only are these girls new and attracting so much attention, they're showing and proving.
Yeah.
They're showing up and popping out. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
They're ballers. Yeah. And as far as Caitlin not going to the Olympics, she'll be there. Yeah. If anything, she probably didn't even want to go, really. She probably wants to get her self-situated in the league, get her experience up. She's probably not even ready for all that yet.
I find it funny when fans get so upset for people, for athletes, or for whoever, when they clearly aren't upset about the thing themselves. I mean, a lot of people are rushing to Caitlin Clark's defense, and I don't think she's asked anybody to help her out. I don't. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see her being offended by that. I just don't see it as a big deal. And by the way, I thought we made such a huge deal over the flagrant foul a couple of weeks ago when this guy played the Fever, right? Did you think that was anything but a basketball play? I mean, did you see that?
I saw it, but I'll be honest. When it comes to Caitlin, and when it comes to Angel and Caitlin, and when it comes to Angel versus everybody else, I'll say that again. When it comes to Caitlin and Angel, when it comes to Angel and everybody else, bro, there's always something extra. Don't be fooled. Because if I was them, you don't think I wouldn't be trying to punch Caitlin any chance I got legally?
I'm sending a message. That wasn't a flagrant two. She didn't need to be ejected for it. That's ridiculous. I mean, that's
the hockey check. The hockey check, I can respect that. Yep. That's just some FUB.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Yeah.
Hey, whatever. Get up and
get back. It's no big deal. Yeah.
I mean, these are professionals. Okay. Yeah. You can't expect anybody to hold your hand or be nice to you. I always scream, no friends. No friends. You don't want friends in this business. It'll get your neck broke. No friends.
I never, like, when I played against my friends in baseball, whatever sport it was, I mean, I don't even
I'm trying to do.
Yeah, sorry. I don't consider them my friend during that time period. Like you go off the court or off the field, whatever, it's fine. But I don't even look at you as my friend. Like, we might share, maybe during a down moment or whatever, we might share a laugh or whatever, but man, when the game's going on, like, I'm really trying to, like, in a sports way, kill you on the field. Like, sorry. I mean, that's
right.
That's my job.
You better believe Angel tried to punch Caitlin. Of course she did. Why wouldn't she? Don't you hear everything going on in the press?
Yeah.
Angel's probably like, man, first chance I get to rock her bell, I am.
Right. You see the shoot she wore for game Sunday, by the way?
What'd you say?
You see the shoes she wore for that game on Sunday, by the way?
She wasn't playing.
Yeah.
She had
I love it. I love her whole personality. I love this, man. This is fun for me.
She's embracing the villain role well. And my thing with Caitlyn is I like how she's willing to take all the abuse verbally and physically, but still do this.
Yeah. It's not bothering her.
And you know what?
People rushing to her.
And I don't have sympathy for her either because she's the one to be on this.
Yeah,
she's part of the problem too. But they cut her slack with that. They try to, like I said, bro, that's where the racial thing comes in. Yeah. When Angel Reese do this, it looks all aggressive. But when Caitlyn does it, it looks fun and playful. You know,
she's been doing it for 2 years and no one noticed. Angel Reese did it once and everybody got so mad. It was wild, man.
And it's because when Angel did it, it was in a title game and she did it right to her face. And like I said, bro, when a black girl hollers out something in the mall, it gets a different attention than when a white girl hollers out something in the mall. And that's just the country we live in. I'm not even mad about that. That's just who we are. Yeah. That's why I said I'm okay with the racial tension because that's the country we live in. Look at me. You don't think I've never been a victim? Look at you. Man, there's times you've probably been looked at a certain way just because how you look. Oh, look at this white guy. He's probably like easy to take. And you probably struck his ass out like, what, bro? What?
It never slowed me down. I don't care how people look at me or what they think about me. I don't care about that, right? It doesn't matter to me.
But I'm just saying, we live in a society that tries to act funny toward white people in sports, and they try to act funny toward black people in society. And I'm just saying, I'm smart enough to be aware of it. So when things like Caitlyn and Angel happen, I'm here for it because that's where it needs to be in sports.
Someone told me a good mental health thing one time. They said that other people's opinions are really none of my business, right? So hey, whatever. You can have it. You can have you're more than entitled to your opinion. You can tell me what it is. I'm not going to ask for it because at the end of the day, I really don't care. I mean, I'm going to be
cool. What's cool is when you ask either of them about each other, they never have any. They don't be beefing. No. We beef for them.
Sure, we do.
The public turns them against each other. But those two never really diss each other.
Of course.
I wouldn't say they're friends, but they're not enemies.
No. If you ask any Braves fan, all the Braves, every single Brave on the roster hates Bryce Harper, and they all want to stab him in the stomach, right? But then if you see him, like he gets on second base, and they had this whole blow-up with Orlando Arcia. Attaboy Harper, remember last year? And then Bryce Harper just tore the Braves up after that. Listen, man, they have laughed about that on the field together. Like, this isn't a big deal. Like, we get so upset about athletes being mad at each other, beefing with each other, arguing, whatever. This is hilarious to me. Like, it's not like that. Yes, they're trying to kill each other, right? Between the lines, during the game, whatever. Right. But man, they know each other. They respect each other. There's a certain level of respect there that I don't think goes the same way as it does, like, between player to player. It doesn't go that way from fan to player. It'll never go that way. I don't know why fans beat other guys, but they do.
What's interesting is that you say that about the fans and the player dynamic. If NBA was like NHL and had a fight culture, the Malice in the Palace wouldn't have happened because the fans would have understood all those Pistons and Pacers would come together and beat the living hell out of us as fans and be allowed to continue playing.
Hey, one of my favorite jokes, Jackson, is I don't know if we're allowed to mention Malice on the Palace on Come On Ref. Remember that got us shut down one day. I don't know were you there for that? We showed the video. They shut us down for mentioning Malice at the Palace, man. So I don't know. I don't know if we're being controversial right now, but if the NBA finds out, man, out.
But it's an awesome reference point because it's like in hockey, there is a fight culture. So the last thing a fan's going to try to do is get busy with a player.
Yeah.
And in the NBA, the fans felt comfortable enough to get busy and throw beers because there's not a fight culture.
Right.
And Meta World Peace showed him, and Rasheed Wallace and Jermaine O'Neal showed him, there is a fight culture. You've just unlocked that box.
Yeah. You knocked down the fourth wall. Yeah, like, good luck.
Yeah. But if the NBA had a fight culture, if you were allowed to fight during the game and not get kicked out, no fans would ever throw beers. No fans would call anybody the N-word because they would know all those players are going to come together and gang bang me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's different. And that's what's cool about the WNBA. There's not a fight culture, but those girls definitely aren't being nice to each other.
No.
The physicality.
I don't want that. I don't want everybody to get along and sing Kumbaya. Like, I want people to have their individual personalities now. I want that to come out on the court. in the press conference or wherever. It's fine.
I guess what I'm saying is it's not wrestling. Like, there's a legit not liking. The WNBA, they're not like the NBA. The NBA has too much jersey trading and homies high-fiving and dancing after the game, and they're on different teams. I hate that. But
we talked about it on one of my favorite episodes of Generation Flex, man. Ambassadors versus assassins when it comes to sports, right? Like the guys who are everybody's friends versus the guys who, the guys like Kobe, the guys like Jordan, the guys like, the guys that people have historically been afraid to like rile up because you're going to get what you're going to get from
what you're saying is the WNBA already has achieved what the NBA can't, and that's holding your attention the entire time, not just the playoffs. The WNBA doesn't even need an in-season tournament. You know why? People are watching regular season games at a record rate.
Yep.
Chicago versus Indiana matters. Just regular season matters.
Because of people, because of personalities.
They don't need an in-season tournament to make the Indiana Pacers and the Lakers matter.
Nope.
They don't need that. You know what I'm saying? It's like the Pacers and Lakers need that because during the season, nobody cares. For whatever reason, the players don't even care. They'll tell you, oh, we save it for May. We save it for April. Yeah, we know.
I talk all the time about flipping the switch. Yeah.
So the women, bro, they're way more intense than the men. I'm sorry. The women are way more intense. They're playing out the gate. The season matters. I can't wait till the playoffs. Those series are going to be brutal.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm getting excited just thinking. Look at us. We're excited thinking about the WNBA playoffs, and we're not even through the season yet.
Man, it makes it more fun to watch when you've got personalities like this that don't.
And I'm still cool on the NBA.
Yeah.
Like, it ended 2 weeks ago, and I don't miss it. Yeah. I was over it before that series ended. I told you.
I didn't watch much of the finals. It was boring. I'm sorry, Celtics fans. I'm sorry, Mavericks fans. Are there even any of those people out there outside of Dallas?
I was totally into hockey in May.
Yeah.
And I kind of let basketball go.
Yeah.
After game 2, after Boston had 2 big blowouts, I was done. I'm like, I didn't like where this said it.
I get it. Well, listen, I know we're done with the NBA, but unfortunately, we're not done with the NBA here. Let's talk about, because I just want to mention this real quick. And we don't have to get too much into this, but the Cavs finally hired a coach, right? Warriors assistant Kenny Atkinson. I think everybody thought James Borrego was going to be the guy. Now it's Atkinson. Whatever. Atkinson's the guy. He's in there. He previously coached with the Nets. I thought he did a pretty good job with the Nets. Had kind of a weird departure there. I think the NBA is just like that. Guys just have weird departures in the NBA. Guys get fired all the time, and you're like, well, they were turning the franchise around. What happened? Sometimes that's interpersonal. Sometimes it's just maybe they don't get along with the front office. Who knows? I have no idea. But Atkinson is the guy, right? So they hired him just in time for the NBA draft. That's tonight. I guess
the dude in the corner.
Yeah.
That looks like the dude from Taxi. I can't think of his name right now.
Well, listen, we're in a simulation. It probably is the same guy. Who knows? I mean, this is all.
You know what I'm talking about?
I do know who you're talking about.
Keep talking. I'm gonna look it up.
I know the guy.
That's him.
Yes. I do know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name offhand. But yeah, anyway, Atkinson. So I guess what I want to ask you is, first, do you have any idea who the Cavs are going to take in the draft? Because I'll be honest with you, I don't. I
don't really think the Cavs even know what they need just yet.
Well, I know what I feel like. I feel like they need. They need, this 6'8", 6'7", 6'9", whatever in that range. They need one of these guys, right? A guy that can play the 3 or the 4, maybe a stretch 3, D up the perimeter, shoot some threes. Who you got there?
It's Christopher Lloyd.
Okay. I gotcha. There he is.
And he played Jim. And it was a mental slip because I know Christopher Lloyd from Back to the Future.
Right.
He played Doc. But yeah, the Cavs' new coach is Christopher Lloyd, a.k.a. Jim from Taxi.
Yeah, it's not Kenny Atkinson. We don't care what his AKA is for the Cavs. We don't care about that. We want to know who he really is. So we'll get to that next week on the show. We'll talk about who really is Kenny Atkinson, a.k.a. Christopher Lloyd. We'll open that can of worms next week. But yeah, I don't know. Listen, I'll be honest with you. I don't know who the Cavs are going to take. I've seen I'm not kidding you. I have read 9 different mock drafts in the last 48 hours, and they have 9 different players going to the Cavs. Completely different players, centers, guards, forwards, a quarterback in one case. No, I'm kidding, not quarterback, but everybody. Like, they've got everybody. They got the Cavs taking everybody. Bronny James is a possibility in one mock draft I saw.
Bronny's going to the Lakers.
Probably. Probably. Right.
Like, how is that going to work? How is he going to not go to the Lakers and LeBron let somebody get away with that?
Right, because the Lakers didn't just hire JJ Redick to not have that work with LeBron, right? Like, right. So let me ask you this first before we go on to the next Cavs question, real quick, just with JJ Redick and the Lakers. What's the fit there? Do you see the fit or no? Is it just LeBron? Is LeBron the de facto coach of the Lakers now?
I wouldn't say it that way because LeBron's time is limited. I don't think the Lakers are thinking about LeBron the way we do.
Okay.
I think the Lakers are looking at LeBron like, you're the present, but we got to plan for the future. Yeah. If anything, they're trying to get something together to make sure Bronny is successful.
Yeah.
If Bronny gets drafted, it's like you're still stuck with LeBron James.
Yeah.
He's not going away. He's going to become probably even more vocal to the management and front office about, here's what I need for my kid to be successful. And it ain't just somebody's dad saying it. It ain't LeVar Ball. This is LeBron James now.
This is the NBA right now.
It ain't LeVar Ball trying to tell the Lakers what Lonzo needs. Right. This is LeBron James telling the Lakers what Bronny needs.
Hey, real quick, speaking of the Ball family, did you see the video of LaMelo driving the go-kart on the roof of his penthouse?
No, I didn't see that.
Apparently there's a guy who works across the building from where LaMelo lives, and he took a video. And I guess he sees LaMelo out there every day on his go-kart, just like riding around his little patio on his. I think that's hilarious. People were trashing the comments, but I think it's absolutely hilarious, man. I think it's funny.
Better be careful.
Yeah.
But I think that's part of why Hurley didn't take that job.
Yeah.
I think for what the money pays, and I'm sure he's thinking, okay, so how does this work? LeBron leaves. I got his kid. We have a bad season. His kid doesn't do well. You guys are going to blame me and fire me, right? That's how this is going to go. LeBron's going to say, LeBron's going to tell the front office, hey, this is the wrong coach for Bronny, and I'll be unemployed again. And I've moved my family from the East Coast to the West Coast. Now we got to move back to the East. Nah, I think I'm just going to stay in Connecticut. So I don't blame Hurley. Nope. Think about it. If you get that Lakers job, now see, Redick is different. He's a friend of the family.
Yeah.
They're not going to fire Redick.
There's a little leeway. Yes, I agree.
Redick is going to be around for as long as LeBron is okay with Redick there. Even if they lose, even if Bronny's not the all-star yet, it don't matter. As long as LeBron is okay with Redick there, Redick will be there. But as soon as LeBron's like, nope, not anymore, you won't be there anymore.
Right. And I don't think the expectations are that the Lakers are going to go 62-20 with JJ Redick and Bronny James on the roster and LeBron James at 50,000 years old. I don't think those are the expectations anyway. So, I think at some point,
I'm just saying
those expectations, right?
But just remember, this is the same front office that got rid of Vogel after just winning a ring.
Yeah.
They didn't trust him after that ring. They were like, whatever that ring did, they didn't care.
Nope.
They're like, thanks, but you're out of here anyway.
Right.
And that's how Darvin Ham ended up here. So we've seen LeBron give Darvin Ham the side eye long time ago before Darvin Ham got fired. I'm talking maybe a year now, maybe last year in the playoffs. He was giving Darvin Ham the side. You've seen the meme. LeBron been looking to get rid of Darvin Ham and probably cut him some slack because, they weren't like enemies, but LeBron will get you out of here, and coaches know this. Right. So I think JJ Redick is a good fit simply because he can coach and not have to worry about the axe because he knows the axe is being controlled by his homie. It'd be like you're a star player for a team, and they make me the coach. And as long as you're around, I know I'm good because of who I am to you.
Right.
Anytime the management gets mad at me, you're going to be like, oh, it's cool. I'll talk to him. I got it. Don't worry about it. We're good. You're always going to come to my defense. And because of who you are, you think Jeannie Buss is going to tell LeBron to shut up and sit down? No, she's going to say, okay, LeBron, no problem. I'll let you handle it.
Right.
Jeannie loves LeBron.
Of course.
Even after LeBron retires, he will still have an office in El Segundo.
Of course. Of course.
I'm sorry. I'm a Laker fan. I got really passionate and winded there.
It's okay. That's okay, man. I should let you talk. No, listen, I don't necessarily, I don't know what the expectations are for the Lakers right now. I don't know what that's all about. But I do know this. I do know that I want to move on from that real quick because I was going to ask you what to expect in year one from the Cavs. But listen, we don't know. We have no idea. So let me ask you this, okay? The AFC North this year, everybody got better. Everybody got noticeably better except for the Browns, who are just kind of, they've stayed pat, I guess. But I'm going to let you talk on this for a minute because you're a Steelers fan. So I'll be right back. I'm going to give you this. Which team will take a step back this year in the AFC North, Jackson? I'll be right back.
Well, the one thing that people need to keep in mind is we haven't really seen Deshaun Watson play at the level of football that people thinks he can play at in about 4 years now. He's been given $230 million right up front in one bag to deliver a championship. And with all the baggage there, I just think at this point, it should be one game at a time. I think Deshaun is doing well in practice. I keep hearing he's throwing the ball well. He's dropping dimes. He's hitting guys, crossing the middle. He's on target. Well, that's all great. And it's all fun and dandy when it's practice and it's not the regular season and guys aren't trying to come at you to take your head off. So I'm really okay right now with what the Browns are doing because I feel like they're on pace to be productive. But I'm not going to kid myself. I know that Nick Chubb is a huge part of that offense. Mm-hmm. And I know even when they get Nick Chubb back, there's a chance he may not be the same. We don't know what Nick Chubb we're going to get yet. Another thing to keep in mind, we're not sure if Deshaun's going to be available the entire year. And that could be for injury. That could be for he out here doing the massage thing again. Like, right. You got to understand when a guy gets accused of something that he did, it wasn't like a girl or two popped up like, hey, this guy's a menace. It was like a busload of women showed up. Now, I'm not trying to say he wasn't set up. He was set up. We're really past all that, but I brought it up to say this guy is capable and prone to get in that type of trouble. Yeah. Who knows what else he could do in the future with now having $230 million to do it with. Yeah. I'm just saying, I don't trust Deshaun, and that's just based on the track record.
Yeah.
It'd be different. Like I've had homies have situations with women, but it was a woman. It wasn't 24 of them.
Yeah.
It wasn't 10 of them. It wasn't 5 of them. It wasn't 3 of them. So anytime you can rack up a list of 24 women, bro, you're special. There's things you do out in public that you shouldn't be. Right. So I don't even know if he's trustworthy. And then he's injury prone.
Right.
I'm
not trustworthy on the field either. I mean, you don't know at this point what you're going to get.
And like I was saying, I can't trust their quarterback on and off the field to stay healthy and stay out of trouble.
Yeah.
I can't trust the defense because the Browns defense, when they're home, they play like the 86 Bears, but when they're on the road, they play like the Bad News Bears.
I'm glad you brought it up because my next question was going to be, can they fix those defensive lapses? I mean,
man, look, Myles Garrett, he's supposed to be like the MVP defensive man player. He's going to have to step up and be more of a leader. He can't be on both sides of the
long
field.
Stretches at a time, yeah.
He can't be on both sides of the field at the same time. So he's got to do his part. But meanwhile, everybody else has to do their part. And I just look at the Browns defense as it's kind of like that Dallas Cowboys defense. It's way more talk and hype than show and prove. Yeah. You look at a defense like the 49ers. You look at a defense like the Chiefs. Look at a defense like the Ravens. Those defenses are consistent. So
yeah,
I like you were saying the Steelers got noticeably better. The thing with real quick with Russell Wilson, when he was in Seattle, he had Marshawn Lynch.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Super Bowls,
Yep.
MVPs. When he was with Denver, I don't even remember that dude's name at running back. Got sacked a lot, threw picks, got benched. My point is, when there's a running back behind Russell, Russell can get busy.
Yeah.
When there's no running back behind Russell, Russell ends up getting chased down. And I like Najee Harris. So I think Russell Wilson will be okay, but I'm happy to know Justin Fields is there in case of injury, in case of age, or just in case of lack of performance. This is the most comfortable I've been with the Steelers quarterback room in probably a decade.
Yeah, that's fair.
Bengals, I can expect them to be about the same. I don't think they have what it takes to get over the hump.
Yeah,
but I do see
Burrow back be big for them. You know what I mean? That's going to be huge.
I see 11. Well, anytime you have Burrow, you're guaranteed 11 or 12 wins.
Yeah,
I'm not sure what the receivers are looking like yet. Ravens have gotten noticeably better. I expect them to be another 12, 13 win season.
Yeah.
There's really no, as long as teams stay healthy, it's going to be really rough in the North. And I think
here's the problem. You got a bunch of 10 to 13 team or win teams, and then the Browns, and I don't know where they fit into that. You can't have that division go 13-4.
I've been doing really well with my role of Negro Damas.
There you go.
And if I stretched out for a prediction as Negro Damas for the NFL, I would say this is the season. If people stay healthy, we might be able to see 4 teams out the AFC North make the playoffs.
Why not?
With that 4th place team having 10 wins.
Right.
They'll need at least 10 or 11 wins as a 4th place team.
And they'll need help going into week 18 or whatever. It'll have to be like, somebody will have to tie, and a team will have to lose this, and it'll be like that.
Here's another thing we should keep in mind. The AFC South is much better. You know how the AFC South usually sucks?
Yeah.
Well, Anthony Richardson will be healthy, so the Colts will be better than what they were.
Yeah.
CJ Stroud in Houston's coming back. That wasn't a fluke.
No, it didn't look like it. That's the Browns.
Jacksonville just signed Trevor Lawrence for $1 billion for a few years.
Right.
So they're going to be hungry. He's going to have to show and prove because they just gave him the bag.
Yep.
So I'm looking at these teams now. Tennessee is probably the least threatening in that division.
Yeah.
But that division got better. That division's better. And I know that the Browns play the Cowboys. Wait, got the NFC East, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, we got the NFC East, and I can't think of the other division teams we got. But I just feel like the Browns are they're going to have to win games that they're not supposed to next year.
Yeah, like the Eagles, the Cowboys. Yeah, like you said, even the Giants could be a lot.
They open with the Cowboys, and that's good. You'll get a good reading early. Yeah. Last year, we said this about the Bengals, though. Remember? Oh, yeah, when they played the Bengals out the gate, we'll get a good reading.
Yep.
And really, that wasn't a good reading because it wasn't a healthy Bengals team.
No. But immediately Burrow got hurt, and then, it was.
Well, Dallas, you're going to know who you are after week 1. Yeah. You'll know.
Yeah.
Because Dallas is it gets no better than a home opener with Dallas. Yeah. That's a game the Browns should win. They should win that
just
game.
For eyes on the TV again. Like the Cowboys draw like no other still. They bring eyes to the TV. So
I'm not sold on Prescott. As long as Dak Prescott is the quarterback, they're always vulnerable to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't care what he does statistically. I know what he does when it matters.
Yeah.
And that's throw the pick.
That's it.
So
that's it. I think they kind of were like just above mediocrity with Dak Prescott, right? Like you're going to win enough games. You're going to make some playoffs. You might even win a playoff game. But when it comes down to it, you don't have a quarterback that can go win you a game in the playoffs. I don't think.
But if you're the Cowboys and the Eagles, you should be in the playoffs because you get to play Washington and the Giants twice.
Yeah.
And I don't see either of them being all that threatening, especially the Giants not having Saquon Barkley anymore.
Yeah,
and their quarterback
might be a little better. Yeah, they're not going to be great.
Danny Jones is a joke.
Listen, I keep saying, I don't think he's going to be there much longer. This is probably his last season in New York. But I keep saying this. Speaking of New York teams, I think the Jets could be a surprise this year. I think the Jets could be really good this year. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is going to have to stay on the field, obviously, for more than one snap. But
I think I keep hearing
his Achilles.
Well, it's like you're either going to get one or two versions of Aaron Rodgers, unfortunately. Yeah. He's either going to be MVP Aaron or you should retire Aaron.
Completely checked out. Yeah, I agree.
I don't think they're going to get a middle of the road with him, especially with that team. That team isn't really the type of team to give you middle of the road.
I think that the injury actually helps him because I think he's going to come into the season feeling like he has something to prove to everybody, right?
Yeah,
that's dangerous.
How healthy is that? How healthy is the Achilles though?
We'll see.
He may not come back the same.
Supposedly almost ready to play in Week 18 last year, so we'll see. I don't know.
But I mean, that's just I just feel like those type of injuries for people that age.
Yeah,
he's not 27.
Nope.
He's not like. I mean, look at LeBron. LeBron had a bad ankle this year, and it really wore on him.
Yeah,
more so than in the past when he had a bad ankle.
Yeah.
And I just feel like even though you can be in great shape as a professional athlete, you're still human.
Oh, yeah.
So personally, though, I do want to see the Jets be competitive simply because I know Aaron's at the end. Mm-hmm. And it would be cool to see what the Jets could do at the end of his career.
Right.
I'm not saying Super Bowl or anything, but playoff wild card would be cool. You know,
they've got guys in positions, man. They've got Aaron Rodgers, they've got wide receivers, they've got good corner.
But even with the healthy Aaron Rodgers, are the Jets better than the Bills with the healthy Josh Allen? Are they better than the Dolphins?
On Diggs, maybe they're a little better now. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Well, I don't think the Jets are better than I think the Jets are only better than the Patriots right now.
Okay.
But that's based on last year. I got to see Aaron. Before I can make a factor of decision.
That's fair. We'll get back to this in week 5 or 6. When you've seen him play a few times, we can get back to this.
I can't believe we just went hard on NFL like late June. That was crazy.
I know. There's always something, man. There's always something going on.
But we knew what was going on, though. I'm just saying it was crazy. We just went really hard on the NFL like it. They got a game this weekend.
I know. I was surprised at that too, honestly. I'm surprised at how much stays in there sometimes. Like I haven't read.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I guess we're ready to talk NFL.
Hey, man, we're always ready to talk NFL, right, man?
Right.
We're in Brownstown. And I know you, as a big Browns fan, you're always ready to talk some Cleveland Browns with me, man. I know that.
You're only halfway right. You're trying to be funny, but as a Steelers fan, it's important to know your rival.
It is.
I follow the Red Sox. I follow the Browns. I follow teams that matter to the team I follow.
Same.
I need to know what's going on with my rival. Otherwise, I really can't talk that smack the way I can. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
The only way to really talk to a Browns fan is to know Browns stats, and then they kind of fall back.
Well, you can just say Bottlegate too, and then that'll get them all fired up and get them talking about something. It'll be fine.
Right.
Listen,
but Browns fans don't like talking stats, and that's why it's good to know Browns stats. If you're a Steelers,
there aren't a whole lot of good numbers here floating around since 1999, Jackson. Hey, listen, I appreciate you coming on today, man. I want to tell everybody
who's done already
watching right now. What's that?
I said we're done already. Oh
we're
man, it's
already.
102.
Can you believe we're talking about sports for an hour? Hey, I can't believe it, man. It feels like
we should just stay on. We should just stay on and put the Generation Flex graphics up and just run the show
right over.
Just be a train.
I'm for it, man. I'm for it. If my family
come on,
if my wife
come on, Ref Express. Come on, Ref Express. I didn't hear you. I was talking. What'd you say?
Okay, I was talking over you, man. But I didn't mean to do that to you. I just said if my wife was out there, I would do that, but it's okay.
I said the Come On Ref Flex Express.
I love it, man. I love it. We need to have a crossover show with the host.
The Generation Come On Ref Flex Express.
It's just us with Come On Ref Graphics.
Hey, we'll shoot a show. We'll shoot a show for Generation Flex after this show of mine coming up.
Yes.
Let me get this show out for all this.
If you think you're responsible after watching us, help us grow, man. That just like our channel, like my channel, like the Generation Flex channel, like the Come On Ref channel. Subscribe, you know, if you want to be notified.
What's up, OCB?
What's that?
What's up, Ohio Media School? Good seeing you guys again.
Yeah, brought to you by the Ohio Media School. I'm sure the entire sports emphasis class is just tuned in right now on the edge of their seats.
I tried to keep it as PG as I could. I really tried.
I think we were fine.
I was stirring the S. I was kicking the butt. I was kicking butt, stirring S. No F-bombs. Yeah, man. I was on it. I was really on my editing today. I had my filter on.
You had the internal censorship. I appreciate it. You didn't have to there were no censor beeps or anything like that. Hey, like I said, man, thank you guys for watching. Just the important thing is have a great day.
Have me back.
I will have
you guys back. Want me back, let me know.
If the viewers tell me I'm allowed to have you back, man. I'm kidding. Nobody's like that. Hey, like I said, this has been another episode of Come On Ref. Pay attention, but I'm sure, like I said, Jackson and I are going to record another episode of Generation Flex this week. There's always the sports show with No Name. If I don't know, Ben's at a 7-on-7 thing today in Brunswick, which shout out to athletic director Jim Covey there.
7-on-7, is that football or soccer?
That's
soccer
football. Yeah, he's got a football thing they're checking out today. So pretty cool. They hired a new coach, man. They hired a new coach at Brunswick, and that was on Sports Show with No Name. You can check that out. Exciting times for Brunswick right now. They're looking at a brand new football coach to lead a pretty storied program, man. So you can check out Cole Carter.
Blue Devils, Brunswick Blue Devils, Medina County.
That's it. Division One, right in the heart of it all, man. The GCC. That's some serious football right there. So
those kids eat well and work out.
Yes, they do. And trust me, I've seen the facilities. They're beautiful. They have a good enough facility to be able to get it done too. So shout out to them always.
Man, I can't wait till high school football. Oh my God.
I know. I love high school football, man. I love high school football. I love it. Believe it or not, it's right around the corner. I mean, it's almost July.
8 weeks.
I know.
7 weeks from opening kickoff, I think, for high school.
Pretty soon we're going to have an 18-week season in high school football, and it's going to start in June. I mean, the kids aren't even going to be in school. You're going to have freshmen playing varsity that haven't even seen the high school yet, man.
We definitely need to talk about that college football schedule and the playoff schedule, Generation Flex.
For sure. We need to talk about the game, too, man. The video game is coming back out in less than a month here.
So much going on this summer right now.
There's so much going
on. Even though the big sports are done, sports is thick.
Oh yeah. We got plenty of sports going on.
The Olympics are coming.
I can't wait for the Olympics. We'll have a whole Olympics show pretty soon, coming up here in a couple of weeks or whenever. We'll figure that out. We can do a Generation Flex Olympics. We could do whatever. We can talk about the Olympics on whatever show we want to talk about on. But again,
shout out Brian.
I'm sorry.
I was just shouting out Brian.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, of course, to our producer, Brian Essence Collins, who couldn't make it on the show with us today because he's doing his thing and helping, helping the Sports Emphasis group out, man. That's what you got to do, right? You got to help people. We're all about helping people. And I'm going to help you people now by stopping the show because you've probably seen enough of my face, especially with the new camera. But again, thanks for watching. Have a great day. I will see you next week on Come On Ref. And Jackson and I will see you on Generation. Hey, look at that. We got a guest behind us, man. Yo, we got our first photo.
SOTOV. Yeah, man, get that. That's content. That's numbers right there. That was a star rapper dancing for you.
Right.
That was a celebrity guest appearance, bro.
That was a whole guest appearance by Sotov, unscripted. We didn't even know it was going to happen, man.
Right.
We didn't even know that was happening today.
Sotov was shaking his things.
Man. That's what's up, man.
Hey, by the way, go to Sotov, stream the app sites. New songs came out last week. New songs coming this Friday. Tune in, SOTOV. Stream that.
Yes.
It's getting hot. Super hot this summer. It's been real heavy.
You might know a little bit about him, Jackson. My man Acronym. I don't know if you know who.
Yeah, I got a show this weekend.
He's got a show.
I got a show this weekend. You can check him out too. But SOTOV, cooking. Kitchen is hot.
Check him out and let us know. All right, guys. We'll see you next time on Come On Ref. Peace.